am a man of constant sorrow. I see trouble all my days. I fit very well to old Kentucky, the place where I was born and raised, the place where he was born and raised. Welcome back, everybody, to Gunslingers. No, I'm not yodeling. I don't care.
Not part of your forte.
Dignity, sir.
You know what? We've had people waiting so long. Let's get back to the phones. Let's get to Don in Culver City. Don says you got a question for Mark. What is it?
Don.
Yeah, I do. A little bit off topic, but several weeks ago, the subject of the Topanga and Banjo and Fiddle contest came up.
Yes, sir.
And Mark said that he won that. And the reason I'm asking is because in 1987, well, it used to be a bluegrass festival at Follows Camp Bluegrass Festival at the East Fork of the San Gabriel River. And I won the intermediate guitar competition by playing my Guitar Heroes tune. I learned all things I could, and that was Doc Watson. And I
place
played
to go.
Rag. And I was just wondering, Mark, what did you play at Topanga?
You got two songs. One had to be off the standard list, and you had one that you could do yourself. So we did Blackberry Blossom out of the standard book, and then we did Gioacchino Rossini's William Tell Overture.
Wow.
Nobody saw that, and we did it good. We did it right. Nobody saw that coming. And because we were so jacked.
I played Blackberry Blossom in the key of G like everybody else.
Absolutely. That's God's key. But we were so jacked, we jumped into that about 30% faster than we had ever played it before. And this was one of those, we're going to win or we're going to die.
Yeah, well, Doc Watson was my all-time. I saw him several times at the place called the Ash Grove in West Hollywood.
Great player.
And, I mean, he started the whole flat pick thing as far as I'm concerned, other than Tony Rice and Clarence White, and I saw all those guys.
You listen to any Billy Strings lately?
What's that?
Any Billy Strings?
I've seen him a lot on YouTube.
Okay, the spirit is still alive.
Yeah, I've seen Billy Strings, but I mean, I've got a lot of heroes right now. But anyway, I'm playing dobro right now. That's what I'm playing mostly right now. So.
We were just listening to some dobro in that last song.
Yeah, we sure were.
Yeah, well, that was Jerry Douglas, because that was Dan Kaminsky playing. Basically, that was Union Station, Allison Krauss and Rob Block on banjo, and Jerry Douglas on dobro, and Dan Kaminsky playing guitar, and...
You know, you got a bunch of guitar players in this room, and they're all kind of smiling and nodding right now.
Good times.
Yeah.
Well, Doc was my favorite. He still's my favorite. I mean, I learned all his finger-picking styles, too. First finger-picking style guitar was just crazy, kind of crazy. It was Deep River Blues was my favorite guitar song, finger style guitar.
I know God took something from him with his eyesight and all that. Man, he sure did give him a gift, didn't he?
Mm.
But anyway, I love the guy's show. Listen to it every Sunday.
Thank you so much.
And I was just thought I'd throw that in. I called one time before and said, "Got to have a Guitar Slinger show."
Yeah.
Oh.
Just you want to be. Trust me, Jeff knows a thing or two about guitars too. We'll do a Gretchen Fender night sometime.
I've got like 14 guitars hanging on my wall. So
beginner.
So you've just started out then, huh?
That's a good starter kit.
That's a fun call, Don. Thanks.
Don,
Thanks, Don. God
we'll
bless
talk to
you.
you. Oh, I don't have any idea how many I have.
You got some. I know you got some nice ones. I was there when you got a new D45. I want to say.
Yeah,
wasn't it?
yeah, but that one plays rather well.
Those guys still know how to make a guitar. I just sold off. Not just a couple of years ago, I was in the need of some money, and I sold off 175th anniversary herringbone 28.
Oh,
that may be the nicest thing I ever own.
Yeah, I've got two standard 28s, both of them with Fishman pickups, and
great guitars.
Yeah, they really are. And I'm sure people are going, guns, what?
Yeah.
All right, let's get to Tom in L.A. Tom, what can we do for you, sir?
Hey, it's not Tom, it's Sean. How you doing?
Oh,
Hey,
I'm sorry.
Sean,
It says
he
Tom on the
did.
board. Yeah. Anyway, what can we do for you?
Yeah, he made a mistake, so he was a little busy. Hey, but I just wanted to give information for the last caller, or the two callers ago, about gunsmithing. Mm-hmm. I had an opportunity to take my Springfield M14 into Bolsa Gunsmithing in Westminster,
Okay.
and they did an outstanding job.
Good.
So there was at least one gunsmith that I know of in Southern California, and that's Bolsa Gunsmithing.
Yeah.
They really do a great job.
Very good.
So, and they had the gun back out in a week.
Oh,
So,
nice. Good
Even more
turnaround.
impressive. What did you have done,
Yeah.
Sean?
The faller and I had old magazines that were jamming up, which, not surprisingly, it was aftermarket mags, but they were quite old, and they weren't working sufficiently at all. They would freeze up after one round and wouldn't eject, or eject and then freeze up. And so, and I couldn't find gunsmith anywhere in the L.A. general area. It was horrible.
Yeah.
So you crossed the Orange County barrier, and
Yeah, there's Evans Gunsmithing down in the city of Orange, and of course Bolsa is over in Westminster. They're few and far between.
anybody on our side of the 60?
No, not really. You know, they've chased. about
They're all
everybody.
gone. Ben and Davis,
Yeah, but-
Backmeyer's been long gone.
Oh yeah.
I don't know anybody. I don't know anybody. They all got either retired or run out by the city of LA.
Run out by LA, yeah.
So,
We keep saying this. Any 25-year-olds who have mechanical interest, male or female, get into the business, man.
Yeah.
There's a lucrative opportunity.
All right, Tom. Thanks for the
Thank
call.
you, Gary.
Okay,
Yeah, good
Thanks,
day.
Sean.
take
Bye-bye.
care now. All right, let's jump over to Ed in Riverside. Ed, what can we do for you, sir?
Evening, Ed.
Oh, it's Ed. I'm sorry.
Greetings,
Yeah.
gentlemen.
How are you?
Ed, Edward. I have been reading this magazine. It's a magazine book. The whole thing is about Ruger and the 75th anniversary, and there's an article in there that talks about Ruger's ARs, and the author talks about how the reliability of the piston-driven system, and then compares that to the reliability of the direct impingement, and the piston is more reliable, but he says that the direct impingement is more accurate. And I'm wondering, why should one system be more accurate than the other, especially the direct impingement, since it makes the gun run hotter and there's more likelihood of fouling with the gas and putting it right where it doesn't need to be, and et cetera. But why should direct impingement be more accurate in an AR platform, or in any platform for that matter?
In the AR platform specifically, more moving parts, more weight. This is going to change the harmonic balance of the gun, and it's going to make it more difficult to, here's the key to this, free float the barrel. There's no way to completely free float a barrel if it's piston driven. Simple as that. With the direct gas, again, you have no point of contact other than the gas tube, and that slides back and forth a little bit. So you're all good. That's free floating like the barrel.
Okay.
And a
But as far
good
as
piston gun can be very accurate, and a lousy DGI gun, direct gas impingement, can be inaccurate. So make sure you don't
Right.
compare apples and oranges here. But if you have a well-built DGI and a well-built piston gun, the piston gun will probably be more reliable, and the DGI will probably a little bit more accurate. So pick your poison.
Okay. I know that, of course, nobody makes DGI M1As or anything. I don't know of any other weapon that runs direct impingement other than the AR. And so there's no other comparison, but the M1A is certainly an accurate piston-driven system, as was the M1 Garand.
It can be. It absolutely can be. Nobody's using an AK variation for a target rifle, right? Even though they did, I know they did make the sniper rifles out of them. But you can get a good direct gas gun can shoot not sub MOA, but sub half MOA. These guys can put at 100 yards. These guys can put 3 into the same hole.
Yeah, that's what I've seen, and
which, by the way, is its own impressive.
Pardon?
I said that's its own impressive. Let there be no doubt about it. They're all so crazy good right now that it's like a Steinway piano with its accelerated action. You know, there are like 12 guys on Earth that can actually work a piano that fast. And there's about a dozen guys on Earth that can shoot these things to their limits. Jeff actually might be one of them, by the way, which is so annoying to me.
Yeah. Well, I am probably not one of those guys who could shoot any of those to their limit, but it just, the mechanics of it puzzled me why the DJI gun should be more accurate, and okay, because there's nothing else and you can free float the barrel.
Just exactly, and you don't have parts banging around up on top of the barrel.
Well, that's true. Now, most of the earlier systems, M1 Carbine, M1A, M1 Grand, have the parts that bang around on the bottom of the barrel.
That's older
Does
technology.
Does that make a difference?
As a shooter, the lower the bore axis, the less you're going to feel the recoil. Now, this is two different things, and I recognize that. I think what you'll find with M1As is that a lot of them were built to such high-quality standards that you could shoot. You could be within kissing distance of 1 inch at 100 yards.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of handwork that goes into it, and I'm telling you right now, you can buy a $1,500 or $1,600 AR platform that'll do that out of the box.
Right. Yeah, and you cannot buy any AK platform that will do that.
No.
But I've
probably not.
I've also read that attributed to the ammunition itself, that the 7.62 by 39, it doesn't matter what you shoot it out of, it's not going to be that accurate.
You have a CZ that might argue with that, don't you, Jeff?
I have a CZ 452, and if you get good American-made ammo...
Boy, and there's one of the keys, because, yes, a lot of the Eastern Bloc ammunition is pretty hastily assembled.
Yeah, and with really funky primers and really funkier powder, and the cases made out of what the heck is that? Anyway, Ed, we're coming up on a break. We got to go.
All right.
Thank
you very much.
You betcha.
Have a great week.
You do the
too.
same.
God
Thank you,
bless
sir.
Good question, Ed. Thanks.
Bye-bye. Okay. Ooh, little sing-along jump. Love this song. All right, you're listening to Gunslingers right here on
the Gunslinger Syndicated Radio Network.
And we're already coming up in our last
Fastest
segment.
2 hours on radio, folks.
We'll be right back.